Thank you all for attending Unlocking the Power of AI Coding, Unlocking the Power of AI and Coding of Open-End Comments. I'm Antoine Manuel. I have my colleague, Lev Katz-Nelson, and the star of this presentation, Nalani Durfee from ScreenEngine. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about Ascribe, and then I'm gonna give it to who you really want to come here to see, Nalani and her case study. Before joining Ascribe, I was a client of theirs for about 10 years. So I started out coding surveys, moved on to managing the project, managing the coding of surveys. And we've always heard that coding was going away. Everyone talked about it was too long to do, it cost too much, you had those tighter timelines, and as technology advanced, everybody fell into the word cloud obsession. I want to do word clouds, I want to do word clouds, I don't want to code anymore. Well, as technology advanced, so did coding advance. We're still here, we're still thriving, and as long as there are going to be open ends, you're going to need coding. Ascribe has been around for 25 years. We started out in 1999. We work with some of the top market research and Fortune 500 companies, like our partner ScreenEngine, Disney, Showtime, Geico, you name it. We process over 300 million comments a year through our tools, and our motto is making open-end analysis easy. And we do that by a combination, either one or a combination of 3 ways. Our first product is CX Inspector. That's our tech analytics tools. It gives you one click to actionable insights. Coder is our verbatim management platform. You're going to hear more about that with the case study with Nalani and Lev, sorry. And then our full services team, where we do the work on your behalf. For our clients who don't have the bandwidth, or they are strict timelines, or they're really busy, we can jump in and do those projects for you. Lev, you mind sharing some information with us about how your experience was with working with ScreenEngine and how we can help those type of clients?
Thank you, Antoine. That was real smooth. That's going to be hard to follow. All right, so one of the things that we pride ourselves on doing is creating a personal relationship with every client and every user of our platform. One of those relationships are the ScreenEngine team. That's who we're here to talk about. But even not ScreenEngine, even if we're not bringing on multi-code teams, if you come on, you get unlimited training. You have 24/7 support that is literally 24/7 support. You email us in the middle of the night, you will hear back from us. Now, the ScreenEngine team, when they came on, decided to test all of that. Many meetings into it, we figured out the needs and how we can best support. We started with figuring out the best way to get the data in, how to structure it, how to get everything ready for coding. Then we moved on to the coding team, which was entrenched in their current coding method, and we had to do our best to get them moved into Ascribe and leveraging our product to the best of everyone's abilities. And finally, finding any other efficiencies that we could to help Nalani's team grow and succeed. Now, I could keep talking about this, but I think it would be better coming from the superhero of the ScreenEngine team, superhero internally as well, Nalani. Here, I'll click.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So, hi everyone, I am Nalani Durfee. I am the Associate Director of Data Processing at ScreenEngine, ASI. We are a top 25 marketing research firm, and we specialize in entertainment. So I know it's movies and TV shows that we pretty much handle. So I know you guys want to know what movies and TV shows, but I would have to kill you. So we won't do that today. So all jokes aside, we have done over 2,000 screenings to date. We have done 1 million respondents interviewed annually. We have 4 companies and divisions, and within US and UK. And then also on the right here, or is this on my right? Yes. It is all our proprietary products that we offer. Oh, I know how to use this button now. Okay, I'm a pro. All right, so we do a lot of complex coding on films and TV shows. We help out with content development. So once they get our coding, they look at it, they say, okay, we need to change some stuff. So we help out with that. we have a high turnover, not high turnover, I'm so sorry, overnight turnaround. So we start our screening at 9 o'clock at night. We have to have our data done by 5 a.m. in the morning. So it's a huge, fast turnaround that we have to do. We have high quality coding that our clients want. So we have to have that human touch. So that's a portion of what we have to do. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Back in 2005, when I started in this industry, I walked in. Hold on, you're probably doing the math. 2005, yes, I was 15. I was 15 when I started. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so in 2005, I walked into a different company, and the process was the same. The screenings were done by pen and paper, so someone filled out screening or a questionnaire by pen. We would go around a table, code it by pen. Everybody would walk to a computer and do their stuff in Excel. We would have to merge this data. And if you think about that, the timing around this, we maybe be able to do two a night, if anything. So fast forward, ScreenEngine was currently doing this process up until the pandemic hit. What do we do now? Oh, crud. So a win-win for ScreenEngine was, let's try and get this data digital. They were able to do that. But we couldn't have everybody in the same room. They couldn't be next to each other, right? So everybody became remote. They were working on Excel, one question at a time. So if you think about it, sometimes we have 15 questions. That's 15 coders doing one question. You don't have any collaboration. You're waiting for their stuff to come back. You're trying to merge all that data together. So that was the whole thing that we were waiting for. And again, on-time challenges. We're waiting for that stuff to come back. We can't get it over there. So now, fast forward to coding with Ascribe, my hero. That should say my hero. Okay. So now we are able to still be remote. This can all be done with a click of a button. We actually visually can see where everybody is at when they're coding. They have a time accounting admin tool that helps us see coders, where they're at, what question they're on, how long they've been on it, how fast they're going. Do I need to add someone on there? So these are the things that we visually couldn't see. So this is something that was a win for us. They have Coder Advanced Innovations. Again, Lev also talked about outstanding training and support. We have that now. I can call him. He'll let me know if he can answer any questions. Designed by coders for coders. So when I say this, I did my due diligence and looked at different platforms. And because I've been in this industry so long, I could see, hold on, I can tell this has been done by a coder. This platform has been made by a coder. This is what we needed. Especially since I've have coders that were doing this from 2005. So that switch over was perfect. And just the productivity results are amazing. And we'll get to that further. I know you're like sitting on the edge of your seat. Sitting, okay. Okay. Sorry, I gotta make sure that I talk into my arm. Coder time accounting admin tools. So when you look at this, you're like, okay, what is this all about? You have constant visibility, like I've talked about. You can easily staff projects by just looking at where they're at, seeing where they're at in the project. Individual metrics, you can have those talks that you don't really want to have with the coders if they're not going fast enough. You can tell if they're not coding correctly. You can have those talks as well. Quality edit codes. So you can actually edit your codes once they've come back to you. And I have 4 supervisors that will tell me, this person isn't coding right. I had to change this. So you can still do edits and everything that you need to. So I talked about the Coder Time Accounting Admin tool. If you look on the screen, this one is time by period. You can actually see, I know you can't see names, but you can see time by period. Holy crud, my name's up there. Whew, I hope I did a good job. So you can actually see activity by study, user and study, and also study user activity. This is the one that actually I use monthly to actually do my metrics for reporting around this. And then if you can see, it's kind of a little blurry, but you can actually drill down into someone's name and see how long they were in a specific area of the project. So all of this, again, we didn't have visibility, now we do. This one, tracking progress. So right now, the supervisors will set up a project, and what you can see right here on the top, it says studies. They can set up the project, they can either put it under construction if they're still working on it, they can put it in progress if they're currently working on it or they have a team working on it, or you can archive it. You have different options that you can do. But also, if you go to the right here, 100% coded, it'll tell you which ones are done, which one's the percentage of where they're at. You can also drill down a little bit more and see what questions have been set up, what coder is doing that question. So like right here would say my name, Nolani's doing this question, she's 100% done. But if you actually hover over the 100%, it'll give you metrics on how fast they went, how many responses they did per hour. If they're not done, it'll tell you how many hours it's going to take them to get done. So then it'll tell you, oh crud, I got to put more people on this. It's going to take Nolani 15 hours, right? So that's a big, huge, again, we have visibility. Okay, so I can go through all the list, but I'll give you a little highlight of the things that we use, or we use all of them, but the big ones that I do. So Coding Assistant. When you have coded a response, it will let you know if there are other suggestions that could be coded along with that, with the same response. So if you see, here we go, here's 4 or 5 suggestions that could be coded under easy to use. If you think that only 4 work out, you can click on all 4, click on the code selected suggestions, boom, 4 responses are coded, just like that. So it'll go through that as you're coding. So you don't have to, it's not something that you have to manually do, it just lets you know what to do. Duplicate list. Our coders can use this, our supervisors can use this. This can be a step, this is a step that they use right now. They'll go in, they'll look at it, and they click on duplicate list. It'll tell them if they have a code that's duplicated. So like right here, here's a expensive has been duplicated. Highly recommend has been duplicated. You can go ahead and delete out those duplicates so you don't see that anymore. So if I don't know if you've guys done coding in Excel, that doesn't tell you. Sometimes you have to actually do a formula to let you know if there's a duplicate. So this actually will tell you without having to do extra work. The other one is custom script outputs. So this one's a huge one. So in Excel, when we used to do it, all those people are data entering. That's data entering right now, using that 10 key. They're data entering, and then Lev's going to be my supervisor. He's actually merging all that data together, and then he exports it. Well, before, that was like an hour and a half process right there. Just that last piece that needed to be done. I worked with Lev and the development team, and he was able to go through and look at the process that we do and come up with a custom script output to be able to export it the way that we want it to look. So all this for an hour and a half is more like done. So that's a huge win. An hour and a half work versus 5 minutes maybe? So, and that's if, you kind of gaze out. 5 minutes kind of long, but for 2 buttons. But anyways, so that's a huge win for me, along with there's different projects that have different exports. So Lev worked with me, and the development team worked with me to go through all the different projects that we have that have different exports. And he was able to come up with, or they were able to help me with, custom scripted outputs for each project that I have. I will tell you a little secret. I guess it's not a secret if I'm telling you right now. But I just had a meeting with him just today, showing him a different project that needed different exports. And of course, he was like, roll of the eyes. Oh, okay. No, just kidding. He was able to talk me through it, and he's going to come up with something else for me to use. Even though it might be a project that we might not do that often, but it probably will be. So that's why I come to him to say, hey, what are those export, or can you help me with this export? Oh. Oh, Lev. Okay.
Yep.
So this should have been Lev's face right here on this lady. Maybe his whole body too, so it doesn't look weird. But really, 24/7 support. And when I say 24/7, like he said earlier, I usually send Lev, because he's my guy. I don't like going to anyone else. So he's my guy. So if you guys decide to Ascribe, you're not getting Lev, he's mine. Okay, anyways, let's move on. So 24/7 support, and I can send him an email. He will return back my email with what he thinks I need to do if I have a question. If it's a lengthier one and he thinks this isn't good to do by email, let's get together, let's meet. He will meet with me and go through the different steps that needs to be done. It's not like, here, go ahead, go at it. No, he is the person that will help me out with these projects. Detailed training. Okay, so this was a huge one. Like I said, I had people that were coding in 2005 that were in the same, that are at ScreenEngine. So huge, that they were just using Excel. So if you can think about it, people don't like change. I don't know if you know that. I mean, I like certain things the way that I like. So when it came to training and the background that I have in training, I knew I needed training to the fullest. So when I say fullest, that means scheduling training for different groups, for different types of groups. And of course, Lev was like, are you serious? Are you serious? No, he really wasn't. Maybe he was on the outside, but no, But he was able to train at least 14 to 15 times, different groups, supervisors, other people that were, maybe had extra questions. So we were able to do a lot of training, and he did it. They did it without a blink of an eye. Custom manuals. This is a huge one for me. I love my manuals. So I would rather look at a manual, figure it out myself. Some people aren't like that, but Lev was able to give me manuals after manuals, or put together manuals for different processes that we do, for supervisors, for coders, how to do something in translation, how to do this, how to do that. If I need a manual on something, he will make that manual. So outstanding training. That's huge, and outstanding support. So designed by coders for coders. We talked about that a little bit. With my coders that I have right now, again, thinking of the people that were still coding in 2005 using Excel, they adapted very quickly. That's what I like to see, is when I saw that, I was like, or saw this platform, I said, come on. Ooh, 10 minutes, okay. I said, come on. You adapted pretty quick They didn't have any issues. I mean,
No issues.
oh, no
at all.
issues, thanks,
No.
Lev. And then on top of that, I know, collaboration. That was a huge piece because when you're coding and you're in Ascribe, I can have, I mean, the limit is limitless, but I can have more than one coder on a question. That's a huge, huge win for me. Because before, it was, wait for that Excel sheet to come in. How long is that person taking? How come you can't get a hold of them? Oh, okay, here it comes. So there was no visibility. Now I do, and they can actually say, put 5 more people on that question if you want to get it done. Improve job satisfaction. For this one, huge, again, because I'm gonna go back to those 2005 coders. Before, we had a little bit of fight, but once they saw this process and how to do it, they knew, okay, this is great. So now when I do have those handful of projects that I still have to do in Excel, they complain, why do we have to do it in Excel? Why can't we do it in Ascribe? So a huge win. All right, return on investment. So little blip here, faster coding 31 hours to 10 hours. So if you look at this grid right here, the Excel, 9 open ends that needed to be coded. Total size, 271 respondents. It took my team 31 hours. If you look at Ascribe Coder, same amount of questions. This is a different study. 9 open ends, 271 respondents. Took them 10 hours. That's over 50%, more than 50% savings. And guess what? We save time so we can do more projects. It's not just one that we're trying to get done. It's now we can do 3+. I will tell you now, we've already done 5 and had to get it done by 5 a.m. And we did it because of Ascribe. Improved accuracy. We don't have everybody manually data entering their codes. Now it's in Ascribe. The supervisors will do their due diligence and check and see if anything's incorrect. They'll quickly change it with a couple buttons, right? And then, boom, export. That is why we're able to save so much time. And again, happy coders. Come on. I think that's the biggest one too, happy coders, because if they're not happy, the work doesn't come in on time because they'll drag it out because they're not happy with the process.
Right now, I know Nolani's mentioned a whole lot of different tools that we have within Ascribe. I want to very quickly touch on another one, our AI Coder or generative AI Coder tool. It was built with 25 years of hand coding experience. So if you want hand-like manual coding, but in a fraction of the time, this would be the tool that you want to look at. It is not a black box. It gives you the overview, or as much or as little overview as you want over your data. If we can. Perfect. So we would have loved to show you this with Nolani's team's data. Unfortunately, we cannot. So we were cute and pulled some social reviews for Chicago because we're in Chicago. So if we could.
Click.
All right. 1,000 open ends that we ran through here, 2-3 minutes to analyze, 99% coded. 100 or so codes, themes extracted. Now, Nolani, you can look at these codes. I used to be a coder. Antoine used to be a coder. We can see a lot of these codes are codes we would have created ourselves if we were manually coding.
Yep, exactly.
If you want a little bit more visibility as to what's happening, click on a code, you get to see the ideas that are captured within that code. If you don't think they belong there, move them to a different code. If you want to break them out into a more descriptive idea, a more granular idea, you can do that.
One second, and a huge thing here is it's not like 15 steps to move it to one code to another, it's like 2.
If you really want to get granular and you want to see where every idea from your response has been distilled from, you can look at the source response and get that information in the click of a single button. Now, if you want, depending on how you deliver, do you want to deliver at the net level? Do you want the high points, the overview, or do you want the more granular code per theme deliverable? If you want a net, again, click of a button, the AI will go through your code list and group those into semantically similar buckets or nets.
And for this one, I think a big piece of it too is maybe you don't want something netted the way that the AI came up with. You can change it as well. So it's not something that is set in stone. You can click on this, move it to here, and it's all good. It's not, oh gosh, this is going to take me hours to fix.
Yeah, go for it, go for it, yeah.
All right, I need the limelight, okay. Okay, AI coder results. So like Lev said, 1,060 social reviews scrubbed, right? 99% coded instantly. Really, it's like, boom. I don't know, what, was that a second? Boom.
And if I could just jump, I'm sorry, I know you need the limelight, but
Okay,
if I could
come
just,
on, Lev.
the less than an hour to complete, that is if you wanted to take the time to really fine tune your code book to the way you want to deliver it. You can deliver it the way it's been analyzed, but if you wanted to really take the time, less than an hour to complete, and then the line, I know, I love your coders, they're great coders, but if they had hand coded this.
Right, over 8 hours. It took less than an hour. We're looking at 90% faster. And that's using the AI coder.
All right.
So we are done.
Let's click one more time.
Click one more time.
Nope.
Any questions from the audience?
Yeah. So my question is, what is the AI that you're using to power this? And is it like what's proprietary or not?
So it's a combination of our proprietary software, but we're also using Microsoft Azure as part of it. But it's our proprietary software and Microsoft Azure. You had a question as well, ma'am?
Yeah, at what point, Lonnie, would you feel comfortable enough that you're letting the AI do all the work?
Well, I got double the microphone here now. Wow, okay. I'm sorry, say it one more time.
At what point would you feel comfortable enough to let the AI do all the work?
Ooh, that's a good question. For us, because of our clients wanting such handhold, like human touch, we could do this with a brand list. Let's say, networks. So we could just hit the button and the networks would come alive, right? We would have all those networks. That is kind of a question we would be able to do.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
So you've had a little bit of experience, I think, to see the AI versus the human.
Yes.
Where are you seeing the AI fall short?
Because of our clients and the way that I have a lot of questions around movie scenes. So when it comes to that type of thing, we really need to have that human touch because they might have seen that movie or that TV show. AI hasn't yet. So that's the biggest piece that our clients are saying no to.
I think we have time for maybe one or two more questions.
I
Any
saw
more
one
questions?
over here. No? Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
All right. If no more questions, thank you so much for attending our session.
Thank you.
You can stop by booth 809 to talk to either me or Lev if you have any other questions. Thank you.